Welcome back to our final stop in the Semite series. Episode 1 showed us Semite is a family term deeply rooted in the ancestral figure of Sem. Episode 2 placed Palestinians at the heart of that family, tracing an unbroken presence on that land till today. Now we tackle the political thunderbolt, anti-Semitism. Our mission: unpack how a 19th century German slogan aimed at European Jews morphed into a global hate crime label. Number 2, show why branding Palestinian resistance as anti-Semitic ignores their Semitic roots and identity and silences legitimate criticisms of foreign and Israeli policies. Number 3, explain why the word's overuse actually harms Jewish communities by dulling the alarm bell actually meant to protect them. Can a term forged as a shield against bigotry become a muzzle against other Semitic people? And what do we all lose when that happens? Quick rewind. The term Semitic entered 18th century academia to group related languages, not races. Enter Wilhelm Marr, 1879, steeped in German nationalism. He coins antisemitism to dress up old-fashioned Jew hatred in pseudoscience. Newspapers love the fresh jargon. Spreads like wildfire. Key points. Now the term anti-Semite is for Jews only, even though Arabs clearly speak in Semitic tongues. Political convenience. The term allows European elites to frame prosecution as culture clash instead of raw prejudice. The Holocaust sears the term anti-Semitism into global conscience, a non-negotiable moral red line, rightfully so. But 1948 adds a new state actor. Western powers fuse support for Israel as atonement for Europe's crimes. The vocabulary of anti-Semitism travels with that fusion. 1967 onward, as Palestinian disposition becomes ever more visible, the critique of Israel policies begins to trigger the anti-Semitic alarm, especially in the Anglophonic media. The lived reality of Palestinians under occupation is reframed as a security narrative, while their protests risk being cast as racial hatred. Historical irony. Palestinians are Arabic-speaking Semites whose ancestors have shared the same marketplaces and the bloodlines with ancient Hebrews. To call the request for dignity anti-Semitic is like accusing the Irish of anti-Celtic bias. Critique versus hatred. Opposing military occupation, settlement expansion, and apartheid law is political dissent, not racial animus. Weaponized label. When anti-Semitism is a catch-all against Palestinian speech, it converts a shield for Jews into a gag order on another Semitic community. I bleed the same ancestral Semitic history, but my protest is labeled anti-Semitic. That is the paradox confronting every Palestinian activist. The IHRA, the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, working definition adopted by many Western governments, correctly flags classic Jew hatred, but its examples blur the line between anti-Jewish bigotry and sharp critique of Israel. Palestinians know two dangers. Number 1, the chilling effect. Universities cancel panels, publishers spike books, activists face legal threats, all under the anti-Semitic banner. Alarm fatigue. Real neo-Nazis march in US streets, yet headlines cry anti-Semitism when somebody tweets Free Palestine. The public tunes out, leaving the Jewish communities less safe. Bottom line, over-application of the label dilutes its protective power. Imagine a fire alarm that blares for burnt toast as often as it does for real flames. Sooner or later, people stop evacuating. Continuous false alarms will mask real dangers. Surveys show Jewish hate crimes increase alongside social media misuse of the term. Not because the word is too strong, but because the word has been stretched too thin. Solidarity gap widens when Palestinians are told Their pain must remain silent, mutual empathy evaporates, and anti-Semitism exploit the division. Name the hatred precisely. Jew hatred is anti-Semitism. Full stop. Name oppression precisely. Critiquing Israel's state policy is anti-occupation activism, not racism. Stand together. Palestinians and Jews suffer when language is weaponized and warnings lose credibility. A definition can't protect anyone when we allow politicians to erase the commas and blur the meaning. So, where have we arrived? The word Semite began inclusive. Palestinians stand firmly inside it. The word anti-Semitism was narrowed by 19th century European politics, then stretched to the breaking point by 21st century geopolitics. We can defend Jewish communities and uphold Palestinian rights only if we wield language with surgical precision and care. Final thought: when a shield becomes a muzzle, nobody is truly protected. Precision in our word is the first line of defense for us all. Thank you for joining the Dr. Joudeh Effect podcast. If this series helped sharpen your understanding, rate it, subscribe, like, and keep the dialogue honest.